Yeah, hi everyone, and welcome to the first new features webinar for 2023. I'm Jeevan Toki and I'm head of Simple Fund 360. So today's session will be recorded like always, so you will receive a link to the recording. And if you'd like to view any of our previous recordings, they are available on our YouTube channel. Today's session will be available also on the YouTube channel, obviously, later in the week. Any questions you do have for today, please enter into the Q&A panel. I've got several of our team members logged in at the moment and willing to assist you, and I'll cover any questions at the end of today. Okay, so the first key feature I want to cover is BGL Smart Docs. So obviously our team's been working now, this has been going on more than 2 years, where we're developing the technology based around OCR. So OCR in itself has been around for many years. I think it's sort of developed as long as computers have been around. But now with the combination of artificial intelligence combined with that, there's several advancements that have been made over the recent years have made this better and better, I should say. So in the past, when scanning documents, a lot of the OCR technology used to rely on having the original copy only. Any sort of scanned copies, segments, covered objects, etc., could not be read, and any variances in terms of those documents would always cause an issue. So now we've come full circle, and where we combining the power of OCR with AI to read a lot of those documents and make it more efficient. So let's go through and have a look about how those work now within Simple Fund 360. Okay, so for each fund now that I should say fund, trust, company, because it'll work for all entity types, but for each entity type you do have, you will see now on your entity dashboard this Smart Docs email. So you will see it located here. So for each, as I said, for each entity, we do give you a unique email address where documents can be forwarded to that email address. So those documents could be just forwarded internally there with your firm. They could be sent by a third party, such as an advisor or investment manager, or could be sent directly by the client themselves. So you've got various options in terms of how you get those documents in. So the important part is obviously that document can come from anywhere. So please treat this email address as private and make sure it's only provided to those who you want to have access. So with those particular with a particular email address, you just need to obviously send the documents there. So with the actual documents, they can be sent on an individual basis, or they could be sent like I've got here, where I've got multiple documents in the one email. The one thing we can't support at the moment is the ability to have all the particular documents merged into one PDF, as we don't have the ability yet to split those out into individual documents. So if you do have it as a combined PDF, it won't work. However, you can have multiple documents in the one email address, which is a common question we have there. One other thing I will show, so I was going to the wrong one. One other thing we do have as well is the ability for any of your clients that are using the BGL Engage app, is the ability to use that to actually take photos of those documents as well and send them in and scan those in using our mobile app as well. So for, as I said, any of the clients using our mobile app, you do have that ability there as well. Okay, so let's now jump back into Simple Fund 360. Okay, so with the actual documents themselves, there's multiple things that we do with them. So we'll actually scan all the information within the particular document and extract the metadata where possible. So with that metadata, we then use things like dates and amounts to actually confirm and try and, I suppose, in terms of using the model, to estimate which documents with a level of confidence it should be allocated to. So if there's a transaction that already has been coded, and we feel that the document does match that existing transaction, the document will automatically attach to that existing transaction. However, one thing we're doing now is with uncoded transactions. So with those uncoded transactions, again, for the ones that you cannot create rules for because you don't have enough information, we have the ability then to use the information in the documents to help you code those particular transactions. And you can see I've got a series of ones here now with the SD that signifies to me that these documents have been matched there with or have been estimated there using our Smart Docs. So if I go there if I click on any of those particular ones and scroll down, you can see now a couple of things do happen. So these ones are across into contract notes. So obviously, if you're not using our contract note service, this is an option you have here to obviously create via the Smart Doc screen. And you can see that the account doesn't exist. So it's prompting me, would I like to create that? Yes. So I can confirm that and go through a match. Now, one thing you'll see is if I click on any of the rows on the left-hand side there, so I'm clicking here on the contract note, contract date, you can see there on the right-hand side that the date there is highlighted within the actual document itself. So you can see the various bits of metadata that we are going through and they're in matching. So I can go through and match these particular ones as we do go through and go forward. So for all these contract note ones that I do have, I can go through and easily then repeat that process, match these across, and that'll automatically take place. For ones such as dividends, so again, in this particular case, I've got a dividend here from Macquarie. You can see here with the actual dividend, again, it's going to go through and match the various components. And you can see that the tax components are extracted there as well. So again, if I click there on the frank component, you can see there on the right-hand side that the actual franked amount there is highlighted. There on the left-hand, I suppose, left-hand side again for unfranked, highlighted and frank credit. So again, it's making sure that the correct tax components from the actual documents are extracted and entered into the correct place here within the actual transaction there as well. So so just obviously the accuracy that has compared to something in the past are much more advanced. So at the moment, in terms of Smart Docs, we do allow a combination of contract notes, a lot of different invoice types, and dividend statements, but we want to, obviously, our end goal is to support every single document type that an SMSF might encounter. So in terms of if you are starting to utilize this and you have any particular document types that you'd like to see supported earlier than others, please click on the feedback button and let our team know. And we can obviously work on putting those at the front of the list. So in terms of our AI models, we only need a minimum of 10 documents to actually train those models. So we can get this up and running fairly quickly in terms of different document types as we do go through them. The next part there, as I said, if I go across to the actual particular transactions, so you can see they're the ones now have obviously the documents attached automatically, which is great to see. And the next part there we'll go across is into the document screen. So very similar to the document screen, there's a couple of enhancements we've made. So I said the documents since our last update, any documents that have been uploaded via either the email address or manually into Simplify 360, let's say either via the transaction screen or workpaper screen, we'll automatically start indexing now and applying this. So our plans is to increase that date range to go back at least 12 months and index into more information. So what that'll allow is doing full text search indexing. So I could type in, example here is the word payment, and that's located in a lot of different documents. So it'll search for it in the name, within the document, and find any of the relevant information. So you can obviously see that's going to bring through a lot more data. What you also see is enhancements here within the document screen as well. So if I click, for example, on this particular document, where the Smart Docs technology has extracted the metadata, you can see there when I click on the document on the right-hand side, it'll grab that relevant information and display it there, similar to what I saw there in the matching screen. So it makes the review process a lot easier as well. So you can see that, I guess, in terms of this, the direction we're heading is we'll get to a point where we'll be able to use this data here that we extract there on the right-hand side and actually validate are all the transactions within Simplify 360 accurate or not. So that will speed up the review process as we go on. So it's something to consider as you sort of review your processes, is how can we utilize these tools to make the review process a lot faster, a lot easier as well. Cool. Next one there is SuperStream. So with SuperStream, we've added a lot more visibility on screen in terms of both email notification reports and several columns there around, as it says there on screen, the rollover release authority and the transaction type column now having the filters. So let's jump across there to SuperStream, to the SuperStream dashboard. Okay, first one there, as mentioned on screen, is ability to export the email notification report. So this will obviously extract all the individual funds there with their obviously their related email notifications. So which ones have and haven't got an email address. So obviously, depending on the number of funds you do have within the system there and the number of email addresses, this can take obviously a little bit of time. I've just prepared one there earlier. Can you see on screen? So if I make that so a little bit bigger there, you'll see it bring through obviously the fund name, fund code, ABN, etc., and then the relevant email notifications which have been saved against that fund. So that can be used to review your funds there as they do take place on a more global basis, and you can use that for obviously filtering, etc., there within Excel. Going down, a couple of different options that we've added now is the ability to expand all. It's okay, so where obviously an SMSF's got multiple transactions coming through within the system, that'll come through and obviously take place. So the ability to expand and collapse all. You also have the ability to filter now there on transaction types as well. So with the transaction types, you'll have the relevant information there that does take place. So obviously, for each firms we sent out emails, I think it was around the end of last year, so around December, obviously notifying that at some stage this year, Australia Post will cease to have a relationship with BGL. We're going to send out some communications within the next 2 weeks, so just look out for those. What our plan is with that is obviously, I think at this stage from 30th of June, we'll no longer support Australia Post. But we're trying to work it out so that any of the existing funds that have an Australia Post ESA can continue to use it for contributions even past that date. But we'll have confirmation and full details of any action points that you require in the next 2 weeks. So just please look out for those communications, and we'll display messaging on screen, etc., as well for any clients that aren't receiving the emails, or in case emails do get blocked. So you will see those notifications and emails could come through there into the system. And the last one there, I'm not going to go through and cover there on screen, is the ability there of obviously corporate action. So it was 29 different corporate actions, which are all listed there in our new features, which all automatically available there for effect. You would have seen, and we're starting to incorporate a few international corporate actions as well. So a few of the different share splits that come from the US exchanges, etc. as well. So again, if there's any sort of common international exchanges you'd like to see us, mergers that you'd like to see us added, please let the team know, and we can look into that in a little bit more detail. Okay, so coming soon. So obviously you can see with Smart Docs how much that's hopefully from today, how much it's advancing. So I guess as I mentioned, our aim with that is to allow every single different document type that an SMSF encounters to be able to read and be actually used either for matching or from the review process and grab the information out. Two key features we're working on and hoping to release by 30th of June this year is the ability to upload a rental statement. And that rental statement could then be automatically created into a transaction. So that it doesn't matter if it's used part of the matching process or not. We can automatically create the transaction with all the relevant components there from the rental statement. And the other one is the annual tax statement there at year end. So obviously at the moment with the distribution tax automation screen, we're looking to crowdsource components and automatically pre-fill all those. What we're also looking is for an individual entity is the ability to upload a PDF, and it automatically, as you saw there with the dividends, reads the actual PDF and creates a transaction with all the tax components that do automatically pre-fill. So that'll hopefully be ready by 30th June. It is our intention there. And as I said, if there's any particular document types you'd like to see, please click on the feedback button, let our team know, email us, and get in contact. Okay, for Simple Invest 360, anyone using with Simple Invest, one key feature we're looking at there is the ability to have consolidated reporting. So the ability for investment reports to be generated across, let's say, for example, a trust company and SMSF, all used by the same family group. So again, that'll be available in the short term, so please look out for that one. With our practice management integration, so obviously at the moment we've got obviously the existing integration available there with XPM. So we're looking to roll that out to APS and MYOB Greatsoft. So currently at the moment, the teams are just putting the final touches on those, and I think got a couple of beta testers that are just sort of providing the last minute feedback. And they've rolled that out. So a common question we get around this is, will we support the MYOB desktop products like AO and AE? The answer for those is no. We'll only support the cloud-based products in order to do the sync. We can't do the sync with any of the sort of desktop products. So and we obviously are looking to extend this to other cloud-based practice management systems. So again, if there's a system there that you'd like to see us connect with and support, please let us know. And then a reminder, obviously, with we're going around the country starting this week, doing our masterclass series. So this is across all 3 products, and I guess promoting what's best practice to use within your firm. So if you go to the web address there, or just Google BGL Masterclass, you can find details about the dates, times, and how to register. With a lot of those too, we'll be also showing in more detail some of our coming features and what they actually look like. So example is our new workflow and job tracking system, the ability for obviously for the consolidated reporting, and some of the more advanced features using Smart Docs as well. So there's some of the, I suppose, advanced preview features that we'll show just there at Masterclass, and you won't see anywhere else. So just a little teaser there and an incentive to get along and attend those particular sessions. So again, we will potentially, I think, at the end of the series also run a webinar at a certain stage, but we just haven't announced a date for that yet. So if you can't get to us face to face on those dates and you'd like to attend a webinar instead, just please look out for the date and we announce it at a later time. Okay, so that's everything I'm going to cover for today. Any questions you do have, please enter in the Q&A panel. As I mentioned, today's session will be recorded, so if you'd like to view it later or show it to any of your colleagues, it will be available there on our YouTube channel. And so if you do have any questions, please enter them there into the Q&A panel and we'll go through and get a call in. So yeah, thank you for attending for today and look forward to seeing you next time.